Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by
The Org Boss. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, interior design, inventory staging, business processing documentation, and more. Reach the Org Boss today at 832-617-0624 or send an email to info@theorgboss.com.
True Digital Media Consulting. You're online right now and so are your customers, but marketing has to be a consistent journey. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your online ads, organic growth, and so much more. Contact us today at 832-934-4436 or visit our website at truedigitalmediaconsulting.com.
Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today to advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789.
What's up, good people? Welcome back to Startup Masters. I'm your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Now look, you can find me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z. And my lovely co-host, KG, is out of the building today, but we've got an explosive show for you like we do each and every week here in the Sphere's podcast network. So without further ado, I'm going to cut to the chase and we're going to get this party started. Because when I'm sitting next to somebody, when I'm sitting across from somebody who's talking about taking college students to the next level, who's talking about being able to assess where you stand and make sure that your achievement is at that tippity tip top shape, we want to have these conversations because I know it's some people that's tuned in right now that either have college students, in your house that are going to school, coming back home. You've got college students that are abroad that are way out of your home, or you're a college student yourself. Let's see if we can make today's show applicable to take them to the next level with Mr. 4.0 GPA himself, Henry Keculah. Henry, what's up, my G? How are you, good sir?
How you doing today?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing phenomenal.
Now, first and foremost, did I pronounce your last name right? Did I say it right? If not, please get that on wax for me.
You got it, Keculah. You're on point.
There it is,
Yeah.
Keculah. I like that, man. So let's rewind the tape. For those that are watching us right now, we're not playing any games today. We fired up Facebook Livers. I want to make sure that y'all who are tuned in right now, hit the share button. Share this out with your family, friends, your colleagues. Share with everybody and ask questions because I want to be able to dip to this screen, pull a question from Facebook as if y'all are my co-hosts today. So if you got a question for Henry, drop it on Facebook Live so we can get that answered. So, Henry, what we like to do here on the show is take people on this entrepreneur journey. I'm talking from back in the gap where you started, what gave you that idea, that conception to bring this to life. We want to talk about where you're at today with the website and the services you're providing, as well as your 5, 10, 20-year plan, the things that are coming down the pipe, far in the distance, but that you're planning for today. You ready to go along this journey, my man?
Let's go. Let's go.
Sure?
I'm
There you go.
I got the
I see
energy.
you.
I'm ready.
Get that energy in the building. That's what's up. So,
Yeah.
Rewind the tape for us. Take it back in the days, like we say here at the studio, hop in a DeLorean, hit 88 miles an hour, take us back in time where you said, I know what? I know that people have a need. And when it comes to getting that GPA, when it comes to college and high school, any and all of those things, it's all about achievement. What was going on in your life when you had this idea?
It was a guy that reached out to me. His name was Cephas, and he said, hey, everyone always comes to you for college stuff. Mm-hmm. So can you please plan this college tour? And I said, a lot of people are reaching out to me for planning college tours and helping them out with their students prepare for college. And I said, you know what? If I can do this as a teacher, I can do this for myself.
Very
and I
true.
can actually start my own company. But I realized that there was a problem within our society, was that when you see that only 21% of students of low income and first generation backgrounds graduate from college within 6 years, I said that if I made it out and I was able to have a game plan for myself, if I create the recipe and I distribute that recipe
Come
to
on.
everybody else,
I hear you,
everybody else will be successful in using
hear
that recipe.
you, Chef. I hear
Yeah.
you. So obviously, right? You're talking about creating this recipe. You're talking about distributing this information out. What were some of those roadblocks that you immediately got when you're having these conversations? Obviously, people are sewing into you saying, hey, people coming your way, why not create something? But I know there were things that you kind of hit along the way, some challenges. Talk a little bit about those.
And something I'm thankful for are the challenges that I had to grow up with, because I didn't come from a household like Warren Buffett. So when you think about starting a company, you know, your parents are not going to give you CDs, stocks, and bonds and say, here, it's $2 million. So my thing was, I had a limited amount of funding, and it was about being strategic.
Talk about it.
And the thing that I realized with being strategic, if your resources are limited, you start becoming very creative.
Put a pin right
Yeah.
there. 'Cause see, okay, folks, y'all rolling with us. Y'all know how we like to do. You got to take notes. When your resources are limited, I want to make sure y'all got that. For those that's tuned in, what's up, Tracy? I see you. Joy, Ashley, V, what up? I need you in the studio. When your resources are limited, you've got to become creative, folks. You've got to come. This is our culture. This is what melanin, I'm going to just say it, I'm going to call a spade. This is what melanin does for you. It makes you be creative in situations where your resources are limited. Good sir, please continue.
So realizing, just going back, you know, when you're a kid, you didn't have any lights on in the house and you still had to do your homework. You have to become creative. Find a laundromat with lights on. So now as an entrepreneur, I have limited resources. The first thing I said was that Barnes & Nobles is less than a mile away. Let me go to Barnes & Nobles and grab a book on how to start a business. That's the first thing.
Or read something. He read something on him. Okay.
Second thing was social media is your best friend. So I picked up my phone. I started seeing opportunities, pitch competition, learn how to start your business, lift off Houston. Bam, that was another opportunity. Third thing was finding mentors, resources, Score. Now I have people who have been successful in starting a business. They're free for me. I don't have to pay for that.
Let's stop right there. So let me rewind it back just a little bit. For those that are tuned in for Facebook, thank you so much, DeAudrey. I see you hopped in. Make sure y'all hit the share button, folks. Hit that share button. Let people know that we've got a great entrepreneur on today. And plus, please drop your questions in for Henry today, because we want to be able to ask these questions and get this information out of him. So go back to the pitch competitions. Now, we've had people on the show talk about pitch competitions. Walk us down that road. What was your experience like having to pitch this idea to those who were not sewing into you, but these are perfect strangers? How did you take that emotionally and logically?
So when you're an entrepreneur, you have to have tough skin. Some people, the best people around you, if they care about your business, they're going to provide you with honest feedback. And the thing about it is Liftoff Houston provides you with several resources. And the resources within the pitch competitions, those help you grow and allow you to become vociferous in what you want to preach about.
That boy said vociferous. I heard you.
And that led to me seeing from start to beginning, reaching out to some of the leaders out there and seeing how I could create myself and mold my business. But it's always about backwards planning. You have to plan from the backwards to the beginning.
That's right.
Yeah.
We often tell people, we often have this conversation on the show. We say, you've got to start with the end in mind. You can't be along this journey, taking it step by step, having no idea what your final destination is. How do you plot your course? How do you get to that location if you don't know what your exit strategy is? If you don't know where you want to be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you have no idea where to start, where to head. So I like the fact that you've already instill those ideas. You've already put those things in place as you're taking these steps. Now, I would make the assumption that you didn't win every pitch competition you got into. How did you handle those losses?
That's a very good point. The losses, the first thing when you lose is about being humble, but asking for feedback. Like, why did I lose? How come I didn't win? So I did win my very first pitch competition with Liftoff, but the second one I came in like second place. But the thing was asking for feedback and being receptive, and that's something you have to have. You have to be humble about. Is seeing how you can actually improve, and having people like Kylie with Spin That. He actually provided me words.
Kylie, what up, though? Kylie was just on the show not too long ago. What's up, Kylie? Hit me back, man. I'm waiting on the email from you.
And he was able to tell me, okay, you need to create your story. So now I listened to him. I took that feedback, and it led to me being successful in other pitch competitions.
Yeah, riding with Kylie, Mr. Pitch King. I think so, right?
I agree.
So you mentioned something about mentors that I definitely want to get into, and I kind of want to open up this next leg of the conversation with that, but. Obviously, we talked about journey. You're talking about going down this path, and that requires great organization. And if you're looking for organization, folks, we've got a person that you need to be in contact with. This particular portion of the show is sponsored by the Org Boss. So, has the clutter in your home or office gotten out of hand? Are you sick and tired of spending way too much time trying to find the things you need on a daily basis? If so, then give the Org Boss a call so that she can help you create organized, functional systems that match your personal lifestyle. The Org Boss is a residential and commercial organizing company that specializes in decluttering, home staging, interior design, space planning, inventory staging, and business process documentation for growing businesses looking to formally document their procedures. Call the Org Boss today at area code 832-617-0624 or send an email to info@theorgboss.com. That's info@theorgboss.com. So, diving back in that, you mentioned the need, or that next step was getting with a mentor. Talk to our audience. Talk to those that are literally sitting in traffic right now, listening to this podcast, or they're at home on their couch watching this via Apple TV. Talk to them about your experience and importance of having someone that you can go to that's already been on this journey.
It allows you to cut back on the mistakes that you can possibly make. If someone actually has went through trial and tribulations already, they can provide you with advice. For example, when I first started off, I thought that, hey, if I went ahead and printed out 5,000 business cards and I passed them out every day, I'm going to be successful. And the first thing the mentor said, that's the first thing entrepreneurs think is, I print out a flyer and I pass it out. It doesn't work like that.
Not at all.
You have to be strategic in building relationships, and that's the awesome thing about it is that my leaders at SCORE, like Jerry Hoffman, provide me with so much feedback that when I went for meetings with school districts, I was able to improve and land contracts. And that's free, $99. The thing about it is that people try to sell you on $5,000 on being a business mentor. That's unnecessary.
Talk about it.
And then you have other resources out there like the Houston Public Library. They provide you with free Elkins and Vincent attorneys, top attorneys, one of the top law firms in the world, for free. So you don't have to go out there and pay someone billable hours when you have these resources for free.
And people don't even know about, right? So and I think you've mentioned not obviously having these resources there, but just like you mentioned earlier, you had a Barnes and Nobles down the street. Go pick up a book sometimes, folks. There's so much hidden knowledge that's sitting literally at your fingertips that can help sow into your business, especially when you don't have an idea of where to start from. So let's talk a little bit about where I guess some of those biggest learning opportunities, but more so the things that you took away from. What were some of those takeaways at this infancy of the business? Those things that you pocketed and said, I'm glad I learned this.
One of the most important things is ROI, your return on investment. So before you go ahead and pay for an ad on someone's website, you need to know when the busiest season is for that person's website or content, and also make sure that that's your target audience. it does not make sense for me to be in education and I go out and post an ad where it's going to be predominantly people that do not have kids. So you have to think
Know your
about
demographic.
know your demographics. And marketing is something that's very key. Knowing how to use Facebook ads. If you're going to target your Facebook ads, I actually learned this from Gary Vee as well. Podcasts are very helpful, like this one. And targeting your specific audience. So typing in HISD teachers, A-Leaf ISD teachers, and then having your ads being sent to people who you are targeting. And that helps out terrifically. That makes a big difference.
I'm sure it does. And I think that anytime that you're aware of your demographic, you're being strategic in targeting, because that's what you're talking about. And at the end of the day, that means that for those that are tuned in right now, you're being intentional with your marketing. If you're not intentional with your marketing, then how do you expect those dollars to ever give you that return on investment that our boy Henry is talking about? You gotta have that. So Facebook Livers, you know what we do around this time. We only give you the first 15 minutes or so, but I definitely want to say thank you so much to those that were tuned in. Obviously, I see you, Lisa, tuned in, Lisa Renee, Angela Penrice. I see you, Marquez, who's coming on in a few days. Maya Bean, what up? Happy belated birthday. You were on the show, one of our first people to be on the show. Tan was tuned in. We want to say thank you all so much for tuning in. But to get the rest of this, you've got to subscribe. So head over to sphere.tv/startupmasters, and we've got some options for you, folks. You can find us on iTunes. You can get with us on Google Play Music, SoundCloud, Stitcher, YouTube, Spreaker, and, of course, we've got you on iHeartRadio. And if you add the Alexa skill on your Amazon Alexa for Spreaker, you can catch this right in your home, right on your Amazon Alexa. So make sure you get your Echo hooked up so you can hear the Startup Masters. Now, while you're there, make sure you share this out. Share with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your loved ones. Share with your haters. Share with anyone and everyone so that they know where they can get the entrepreneurial journey that people need so that they don't have to skin their knee up to the white meat like we talk about here. And while you're there, give us some constructive criticism. We want to know how we're doing. Let us know, like Henry was talking about during the pitch competition. We need to have that feedback so that we can have a better show for you all. So hit those stars, hit those likes, leave us some comments. Let us know how we're doing right over there in iTunes. And last but not least, if you love what we're doing here, sow a seed. Go to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a couple of options for you. We can donate right on the website one time, or you can donate via Patreon, and that's going to be a subscription-based donation where we're going to give you exclusive content from us right here at the Sphere. So, without further ado, Larissa, I see you hopped in. I appreciate you on Facebook Live. Everybody, make sure y'all go ahead and share this out. We will tune in with you soon right here at the Sphere. All right, Henry, let's keep this party rolling, my G. So, let's talk about today. Let's talk about what Henry has built around 4.0 GPA. Talk to us about the services and things that you offer for aspiring college students and anyone within that same diaspora.
It's having a student and a parent come to me. Student comes to me with a 2.3 GPA, and mom is worried about their student getting into college. It's like, now, boom, we provide them with a test. They now see what career paths they want to go into. We now show them how to prepare for the ACT exam. Boom, that student gets a high score, like a 30 out of 36 on the ACT. That student starts to receive scholarship funding, full rides. And that's what we do. We actually provide students with the opportunity of being able to fund their college education with a full ride if they're given the opportunity, and being able to graduate from college within 4 years. We show them how to do that as well. And we have students who are parents of teachers. It doesn't matter where their background is, low income, high income, but everyone utilizes our services because they want their child to be able to go to college, but also have the opportunity of receiving scholarships. And you don't have to stress because we provide you with a personalized plan, and you leave all the work to us.
And I'm assuming that plan, everything can be done right here. For those that are watching right now, we have it up on the screen. For those that are listening, make sure you tune into the video podcast so you can get this. We've got the website up, and this is a gorgeous website. So, and I'm assuming they can sign up and do everything they need to do right there on the site. And it looks like you've also got some, I don't know if those are testimony videos, but you've got some opportunities to hear you and talk about some other students and things that they've done. So, man, this looks wonderful, bro. I mean, this is really what people need, from the preparation and tutoring to your target list. I mean, where was this at when I was coming out of high school? You know, when I was in the 10th grade, taking SATs, getting prepared and having my mind sculptured to go in the direction I wanted it to go, right? I could have used a service like this. I know my parents would have been happy because I would have been out of their pockets, you know, and got some more dollars. So obviously you've built something beautiful. Right? You built something that is a resource and tool for others. Now let's talk a little bit about you. Talk to me about what you're doing to, how do I say, provide the X factor to these parents. Because there are other people that are doing this, other people who have written books and things like that. But what's that X factor about you, Henry, that makes 40gpa.com work where others have failed?
The great thing about us being successful with schools and the parents we have worked with is that I was a student that I failed 6 classes in high school, and I had a 2.5 GPA when I graduated from high school, but I made a 4.0 GPA my first year of college.
Yeah.
It was by following a system, and I saw that creating that system, other students were successful in following the same system and winning scholarships. I won scholarships when I had a 2.5 GPA. So it was about showing students how to develop their story and then just holding them accountable. And that's where we have the A in the GPA. It stands for accountability. When you have someone holding you accountable, your actual stats, you perform at a higher level.
I agree to that. I mean, if you tell somebody they're weak, they're poor, if you tell them they don't know anything, you tell them they're savages, you can expect them to act that way because you've sown into them this belief that this is who they are. But on the other hand, if you hold them accountable, you tell them they're smart, they're brilliant, you tell them they're hard workers, eventually they conform because they're internally believing those same things. So if A is for accountability, break it down. What does the G stand for?
The G stands for growth.
Okay.
And we help students grow over time by providing them with a personalized plan. The next thing you have is productivity. We show students how to manage their 168 hours within a week. And that's something that's very important with time management. We have a society today, everybody likes to use Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram. And we show students how to develop their soft skills. We actually do enrichment programs for school districts. And we show students how to develop the soft skills at the same time. So it's growth, productivity, and accountability. And you put that in together, and you have a recipe for anyone to be successful. Because anyone can graduate from college within 4 years. Regardless if you're special needs, if you're regular, you can graduate from college within 4 years.
There it is. I like that, man. Now, talk to me a little bit about what you're doing for self, because I see your mind working over there. It's turning. I see the gears working. You're thinking about how's this question gonna come about. But there have been so many entrepreneurs that have sat in all 3 of these seats, you know, that have shared their stories, that have built businesses. Some of these people are grossing $1 million a year, like real talk. Some of these people are, you know, at the $500,000. Some of these people are multi-million-dollar a year companies. Doesn't mean that they're putting multi-millions in their pocket every year, because it takes money to run a business. But these people have built what most people would consider to be successful. But in order to build something successful and sow into people, something has to sow into you. We often say you can't pour into other people when your cup is empty, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. So what are you doing, Henry, for self-care that sows back into you? I see you got the fresh lineup and whatnot. I don't know if you stay in the barbershop every 2 days, but what are you doing so that you stay refreshed, relaxed, so that you keep your batteries on full?
The thing about me, what keeps me rejuvenated is listening to music, Tidal, and podcasts. Putting on a podcast is something that just motivates me, regardless of it being Joyce Meyer or just being a new podcast with Eric Thomas. Those are things that keep me going. And listening to hip hop music when I put on a new Lil Wayne mixtape, that just
Dedication 6.
that Dedication 6, it keeps me going. And that has always been my formula since I was in middle school, is music. And it motivates me.
Okay,
Yeah.
I feel that. I'm a music head
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, you threw Lil Wayne. I'm gonna hit
Yeah.
you with the latest mix because I'm aware.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, I host the hip hop podcast as well. So, but before we dive too deep, this particular portion of the show right here is sponsored by True Digital. So, are you online right now? Because if you're not, your customers are. The question is, how do you actively reach each and every one of them? Marketing has to be a consistent journey, and we're here to help you walk every step of that way. True Digital Media Consulting can help with your website development, online ads, your business reputation, and organic growth on search engines. Give True Digital a call today to discuss a customized strategy for your business at area code 832-934-4496, or send them an email over to info@truedigitalmediaconsulting.com. Mention the Sphere to receive a free 30-minute strategy consultation, folks. So if you're trying to market, you're putting your big toe into marketing, these people are going to give you free 30 minutes strategy off the rip. Why not give them a call or shoot them an email? So, hopping back into where we're at, I know that, you've come a long way. You've gone through this journey. You've built a lot of things. You've put things in place like the beautiful website we saw earlier. You talked about listening to music. What type of processes, so that you can sow into self, so that things run smoothly and efficiency, what type of processes can you share with us today that you have on like a rinse and repeat schedule, so that you can let these things continue to sow and grow, which keeps you in your flow, so to speak, in your juju, as KG would say?
The things that I do perennially year round, it just comes along with starting off with my daily routine. I have a daily routine sheet.
Talk about that daily routine.
So I actually created a customized daily routine sheet that I start off with a daily quote. I find any daily quote and I put that down so I can see that that's going to be my quote for the day. Then the next thing is making sure I have daily goals, because goals is something that just motivates me. So I have daily goals, weekly goals, and monthly goals.
Okay.
Then I make sure I listen to 5 podcasts in that day. And
You said 5?
5 podcasts.
5
every day.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like
Yeah.
all 5.
Yeah.
See, and man, that's beautiful, sir. That is beautiful. Okay, I like that, man.
And that's just something that keeps me going, because I find that it's so motivational when you listen to somebody. Like, I think Michelle had a podcast recently with a pilot on there, and you listen to somebody else talk about their success story.
Which Michelle you talking about? Ngome?
Yeah.
We love Ngome.
yeah, so-
Ngome. She know what that means. If she tuned in, she know exactly what that means. But keep going.
Yeah, so you listen to her podcast recently with a pilot on there. You hear him talk about his journey, and when you hear people talk about their success stories and give you tips and dimes and nuggets, it
I
just
said
motivates you.
dimes.
It keeps you going. It keeps the juices like boiling. And it's about knowledge all the time and being able to do that, but also reading a book at times. I like reading vicariously, and those are things that I just love doing, and that just keeps me going.
I feel that. Now, are you still teaching right now?
I stopped teaching in 2014, so I'm doing this full time, and we're located in Post Oak Gallery Office Towers, and we work there, and that's our office location. And we also work with school districts within doing that too.
Okay, because I noticed you got the A-Leaf Proud button on. Talk a little bit about A-Leaf.
Yeah, so A-Leaf is where I actually graduated from. I rep A-Leaf a lot, and my company, we provide workshops for them as well. And it just reminds me, that shows me like where I come from, because I think about A-Leaf, and A-Leaf means a lot to me. And that's how I actually came on the path of starting this company, seeing a lot of my friends ended up in prison. And even as a teacher, a lot of my students ended up in prison too.
Wow.
And when I wear this button, this is a 100-year anniversary, but it just reminds me how far I've actually come from that kid that was being suspended, 8 times all the time, and now coming far and helping those students, preventing students from following those mishaps and going in the right direction.
And I love the fact that there's a give back strategy. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we get caught as entrepreneurs, we often get caught up in the rigmarole of the daily processes. We often get caught up in putting our own routines in place, implementations, so that things can run as smooth as possible, so we can somehow garner back some of that free time that we've lost. But to give back to those that are in need, to realize where you came from, saying, okay, I want to sow back into these folks, because I remember when I was just one of those same folks. I remember when I was a step away from doing the wrong thing that could have been detrimental for a longer period of time. And I think that is a key component of entrepreneurship. Because we're not just doing it for dollars. We're not just doing it for fame and success, but often to sow back, to reach behind us and sow back to those and give our knowledge to somebody else, because it helped us. It helped us get to where we're at. So why not? Speaking of which, what were some of those, as you've gotten past this and moved towards this forward thinking process, right? Things are stable. Things are moving in motion in the way they need it to be. Talk to us about those ideas or concepts that have came to life in your mind, at least, that you say, you know what, I want to implement this 5 years from now. I want to put this in place 10 years, 20, 30 years from now. Where do you see 4.0 GPA in the year 2030?
I see us having a software and an app that's on everyone's phone that makes it easy for every parent to understand how simple it is to prepare for college. But not only college, a career outside of going to college, because you need to have options. The second thing is having franchise locations like Sylvan Learning, having 4.0 GPA being probably like the black staple, where you can have minorities feel comfortable going somewhere where people understand them and be able to assist them.
Let me put a pin right there. Yeah. You said something that had my wheels turning. You want to build a place in the future where minorities feel comfortable going. Do you think right now there is some type of problem with current facilities where minorities feel displaced, feel uncomfortable?
Yes, and understanding, because people do not understand our culture. So a parent may be easily offended by somebody, and somebody may think that parent is attacking them, but that's their culture. Like my mom, she's loud, but she understands. She's very passionate about education.
You know you're gonna get in trouble. Right?
No, I'm
not.
Talking
about your mom's loud.
Yeah, my mom's loud. She's very passionate.
Yeah.
She comes from a foreign background. So people look at her and say, oh, we don't understand what you're talking about. Or they may judge you and think that it's not something that is affordable for them, because they'll say, oh, you just need to focus on, don't focus on sports. And I have heard offensive comments from other educational places that never should have been said, and I felt that we need to have a place that understand us, because our kids learn differently too. True. And they do need to see people that look like us. And I have seen what studies have shown that students perform well when they have teachers that look like them. Those students are more likely to be identified as AP students when they have black teachers. But not only that, I think it makes a big difference. We need to have more people within this profession that are minorities. It's going to make a big difference.
Man, it speaks so true to what we talked about just in our our open dialogue about when you are conditioned to be something, right? If I'm sewing into you and telling you're this, and it's positive, 9 times out of 10 you turn out being positive. And what better way than to see someone who's teaching you that looks like you? Because now you at least know that you can be that. At least. And if you keep this person in high regard or esteem, then surely the skies are the limit. And I think that's something that the youth, for those that are tuned in right now, if you're one of these 5 podcasts that Henry's listening to, understand that you've got to hold on to the ideas and the fundamental concept of having people who look like you in high places, and how rich and important that really is. We see that we won't know And then just to digress a little bit, we won't know the magnitude of STEM kids that look like us 10, 20 years from now because of the movie Black Panther. We won't know how many people saw some of those characters and saw that rich culture and diaspora, how strong it was, what that really sold into them at this young age. Who knows what they're going to be 10, 20 years from now, just because of something they saw on the screen for 2 hours and 14 minutes. The power of representation. And that's really what you're talking about. Am I right, Henry?
That's true. And that goes a long way with just seeing the first time that I saw an African-American lawyer was Johnny Cochran, was during the OJ. And that's the thing I want everyone to take away today. If you have one day out of your work day, just go to any high school and volunteer for career day. It does not matter what you do. Allow students to see somebody that looks like them in a successful place, because we are actually going to be talking at South by Southwest, but students are more likely to say, I want to become a basketball player, because all they see is James Harden, or all they see on TV may be someone like Slim Thug, who are very successful people, but they do not see a diversified portfolio of other professions.
Yeah.
And you can change that by dedicating just 1 hour of your time.
Whew.
Yeah.
Man, what a gem.
Yeah.
What a gem, man. So this particular portion of the show is sponsored by us right here at the Sphere. So, are you starting your own business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789, or send us an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. So, Henry, you, sir, have been a wealth of knowledge in regards to everything that you've mentioned. But I've got one final question for you as we wrap up today's show. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
All right.
Let's go.
So, let's rewind back slightly and take away the ideas of franchising. Let's take away the idea of having locations across the country, if not the globe, to show young minorities what that people who look like them can sow into. Let's rewind back through and let's take out the developer who built the website. Take out all the photos that came along with that. Let's take out the office space over in the Galleria area. Let's take it all the way back. I'm talking about erasing every person that sold into you and told you that this was a great idea for you to create because you're already doing it for so many people. Let's take all of those things away and put you right back at the beginning of all of this. And let's slide you a little seed money. How would you rebuild this company in a way that you didn't build it the first time around with these coins in your pocket?
Now, with seed money, now I have a larger team.
Look at you smiling. I see it.
And I may be getting some seed money with Texas Smash Challenge coming up this August. So.
That's what's up.
But talking about seed money, I will now have a larger team. I will be able to say that I have an app developer, a software developer as well, and I'll be able to develop a software app that will be able to reach more people at a faster speed. And also with seed money, the thing about the influence, the marketing will be there now, not only in Houston right now and Austin, but it's going to be Atlanta. It's going to be California, places that need our services directly, places where incarceration is high. Mm-hmm. That's going to be our main focus. And the next thing with seed money is providing more jobs as well for our people and allowing us to work and get more procurements. And I'm a very big fan of procurements. Just got one at HISD. But that's just something that I think that seed money will help us reach more people around the globe. like Wakanda all over the place. We're going everywhere.
I feel that.
That's where the seed money will go.
Henry,
Yeah.
Mr. 4.0 GPA. Henry with the great, I see you over there with the jacket. Henry, the man who wants to sow into individuals, those who may look like you or who are tuned in right now, to make sure that you get all of the opportunities available for you when it comes to college and beyond. Henry, we would like to officially, sir, right here at this table, coin you a startup map. Look, that's all right. You got it. A startup master. Good, sir. Let everyone and anyone that's tuned in right now know where they can go and contact you if they need to.
You can find me for quick, easy. Just send us an email at info@40gpa.com, or you can actually follow us on Instagram at 40gpa. And we have scholarship information for student athletes as well. And if you're looking for prom suits, just go to Valente in West Oaks Mall and just mention 4.0 GPA, and we take very good care of you. We provided scholarships for students that needed prom outfits. So just reach us out. Come to 27 Post Oaks in the Galleria Mall, and we'll be able to set you up with an appointment and service your child or even you or your school district. We do enrichment programs for schools, and we enjoy doing that. We provide very good data as well and results. So count on us and allow you to be the difference you can be in the world.
There it is, good folks. Make sure you are checking that out, 40gpa.com. And, of course, if you need to reach me anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. If you've got any questions for myself or Mr. Henry here, you want to have a conversation, shoot us an email, startupmasters@thesphere.tv, or hit us across all social media platforms at The Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag StartupMasters, and we will definitely get back to you. This has been another great episode, and we will see you all next time. Take care.